My face is a little dark. The headlight on. Hold on a second. Front camera there, or front light from the kitchen. Good morning, afternoon, good evening, whatever it happens to be when you're watching this. I'm Fremont Lee. Welcome to my little video. Views and opinions in this video are those of the person saying it. That's me, Fremont Lee. Hi, how are you? Do hope all is well with you. It is 5:46 a.m. on February 1st, 2021, which is 2121. All right, yay. Excuse me a second. Because it is 5:46 a.m. and I just woke up about maybe 45 minutes ago. Dishwasher's running. If you can hear it, it's going. All right. Hope all is well with you. I do. It is February 1st, 2021. Going with the belated January 31st birthdays. Happy belated birthdays going out to Jessica Walter, who is on TV shows. The one with Jason Bateman. I don't watch the show, but it was like it came back and then they were trying to do a movie or something, and what's their faces with the ladder to the airplane. I should have looked it up, but it's all right. Glenn Turman, he was the Major General Colonel, whatever Colonel, I believe, on A Different World, the off thing from the Cosby Show with the Huxtables. Stuart Margolin, who played Angel on the Rockford Files, 1974 to 1979. He has done other things. That's just one of the things that brought him out to, or whatever. Jonathan Banks, he's the one Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley in Beverly Hills Cop tosses over the one table, and he's like, "Well, cuz." Justin Timberlake, Anthony LaPaglia, capital L, small a, capital P, small AGLIA. It's either LaPaglia. I want to say he was in Empire Records. I don't believe he's the one that was on the show 7 Days. I could be wrong, because I know there was he or a different LaPaglia was in the follow-up to, what was it, Little Caesar, or Hail Caesar, or whatever it was, the TV show within the movie they were doing with Billy Crystal and Robert De Niro as sorry, the dishwasher is going, and I can't think straight. It's analyze this, analyze that, and then it was Kerry Washington, Kelly Lynch, Minnie Driver, Portia de Rossi. Although I didn't add the I on there, so it's just Portia de Ross. That's funny. Portia de Rossi, Patricia Velasquez, Director Dexter Fletcher, who directed Rocket Man 2019, the biopic of Elton John. John Lydon of the Sex Pistols. Bobby Moynihan. Daniela Bianchi, Bianchi. She played Tatiana Romanoff in From Russia with Love, 1963. And to the late Suzanne Plachette. Gene Simmons of Guys and Dolls, 1955. Not the Gene Simmons from Kiss. She was also on the show TV series Dark Shadows in 1991. Linda Porter, who played Myrtle on Superstore TV series 2016 to 2019. Carol Channing, Jean Spiegel Howard, Ron Howard and Clint Howard's mother. She appeared in a couple of Ron Howard's movies. Clint Howard being also making a few appearances, whatever, in the movies. Tallulah Bankhead, Joanne Drew. The only movie I know her from was Super Fuzz, 1980, that starred the late, before he was the late, Ernest Borgnine and Terrence Hill of Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill. You know, watch out, they're mad. John Dye, who was on Touched by an Angel. Eddie Cantor. Jack Mercer, who was the voice of Popeye the Sailor for like the longest time. Writer Norman Mailer. Jorge Gonzalez, who was Giant Gonzalez on WWF, which may or may not have changed to WWE at some point in his lifetime. I didn't write down when he passed away, but he was like really fucking tall. I want to say he was taller than the Big Show, but I could be wrong. That was out of the top 100 of 1,185 for January 31st, 2021. Happy February. Goodbye, January. It is now February 1st. Yay! Sorry, I was sort of celebrating myself in my own bed. And it sort of drooped out my mouth instead of my ear. Yeah, you know. As I said, it's before 6 a.m. I've only been up for not even an hour, which is weird because previous video, I think I'd only been up for half an hour and I was okay. But then again, I didn't sleep for maybe 12 hours. Last night I did. I went to bed at maybe 3 p.m. Got up once to use the bathroom, which, you know, is always a good thing. Going to the bathroom and then getting up is the wrong order. You have to get up first, then go. You did what in your bed? Oh. Well, after using the bathroom, I went back to bed. I was like, okay. Saw that my brother was up. It was about midnight. Ended up going back to bed. So maybe it was only 12 hours I was asleep. I don't know, 10, 12. That last few hours, though, I was kind of in and out. And not in the in and out in which I was hoping. You mean like burgers and stuff? Let's go with February 1st birthday, shall we? Yeah, I know, the funny accents. It just... February 1st birthdays, 2021. Garrett Morris, original SNL Saturday Night Live cast member, who played Ant-Man. And in the movie Ant-Man, made an appearance when Scott Howard lands on his car. He's like, what the hell? Sherilyn Fenn. I also used to be able to tie a cherry stem into a knot. I can't do it anymore. I was like, Pauly Shore. He stopped doing the weasel, bud. Joy Philbin. Michael C. Hall of TV show Dexter. I'm sure he's done other things. I couldn't tell you right now. Ronda Rousey. Bill Mumy. He was the kid on Lost in Space, I believe, the TV series. I could be wrong on that. He's done other things. I think he's behind the scenes now, mostly. Lisa Marie Presley. Shelby Chong, Tommy Chong's wife. I believe they're still married. I didn't look. I believe so. Harry Styles, as opposed to bald. That's his name, Harry, like Harold, but Harry. Or like the other joke I did about Harry Potter, except minus the lightning bolt. Matt Lattanzi, Lattanzi. He was previously married to Olivia Newton-John. There's something I wanted to be. Although I was, 13, 12, 14, whatever. Big Boy, B-O-I, Big Boy. Lauren Mary Kim, she did stunts in Furious 7, 2015, Star Trek 2009. I don't know why I'm shouting, but it's probably trying to get over the dishwasher. She's done other movies. She has, I believe it said Avatar 2, which is yet to be completed, but she has stunt work in that. Heather Deloach, capital D, small e, capital L, small O-A-C-H. If the name doesn't sound familiar, Blind Melon's No Rain, she's the B-girl. She reprised the role in Weird Al's Bedrock Anthem video. Which was 1992. And then for the other one, I think it was said 93 for Weird Al's video. Maybe 94. I can't recall right now. I didn't write it down. Grant Gelt, who was in The Sandlot, 1993. Weeks. Something Weeks was his last name in the movie, the character. I may screw up his name, and I apologize. Tego Calderon, Tego. He played Leo in Fast 5, 2011, and Fate of the Furious, 2017. In one of the other ones, he played Tego, Tego, which he's also, I believe, a rapper or a musician of some sort, because he was on a soundtrack to the movie Crank. Or it said soundtrack for the movie Crank. And to the late Lee Thompson Young, who was the famous Jet Jackson, and he was on Rizzoli and Isles. Sadly, he took his own life. Probably one of the things that happens when you're dealing with bipolar and depression. Seek help if you have to, if you are having problems. I'd throw a number up, but it might be a different number in your area. I'm sure there's an 800 number, which would be, or 900 or something, where it's somewhere in your area. But if you need to seek help. Clark Gable. Yes, frankly, my good dear, I don't give a damn. Which was not Cary Grant, even though they had the same initials. Brandon Lee. Director John Ford. Terry Jones of Monty Python. He's done other stuff, but that's... Elizabeth Sladen, who was Sarah Jane Smith on Doctor Who, 1973 to 1984, and 2006 to 2017. And she was also on the Sarah Jane Chronicles 2007 to 2011. Sherman Hemsley, who was on the Jeffersons, he's George Jefferson, made 2 or 3 appearances on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was actually, Sherman Hemsley was actually born in Philadelphia. So Will Smith's born, West Philadelphia, born and raised, Decker, 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 Decker. I'd go into it, but I don't want to pay them money for that. BB Bash, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, in 1982, and she was in the movie Steel Magnolias, 1989. I'm sure she had done other things, but those are just the 2 that stood out to me. Janie Lane of Warrant, whose real name is John Kennedy Oswald, which that's according to IMDb. That's these birthdays. They're all according to IMDb. And the information on there said his real name is John Kennedy Oswald. If you don't understand that whole thing right there, you probably understands why he changed his name to Janie Lane. And Rick James. And no, not I'm Rick James, bitch. Are you Rick James, bitch? Or are you Rick James calling someone a bitch? No, Rick James. That was out of the top 100 of 1,199. I'm sure from previous years that number has changed or grown. There are a few names I didn't recognize, but that's bound to happen. Because Babla Dabi, it's like I don't know who that is. Then there was like a name with no picture. I'm like, I don't recognize that. I might go in to see what they were in. It's like, oh, they were in that. Yeah, I never watched that. I don't know. My 4th book, the one I'm writing right now, I found out yesterday, January 31st, based on a post I had made the previous year, that I have now been working on the book I've been trying to type up for the last few whatever. It's been a year since I've been working on this book. And apparently I already gave the name Somewhere to Be, which anywhere but here, a good follow-up would be Somewhere to Be, which in the book, the young child says the name of it. In Anywhere But Here, I believe Duncan says it, because he's working in fast food, his grandmother's passed away, and he just doesn't feel like he can be here anymore. He needs to change his whatever he's doing. So he's like, because Tina, the lady that was working the other side of the place, it's a truck stop, but it's a travel center if you want to call it that. But Tina was working the fuel pump side, the gas pump side, for the whatever. She sees that Duncan is something's up with Duncan, so she goes to see what he's doing or what's wrong. And she's there. What's wrong? She's pretty much that open. She's just, hey, look, I ain't fucking around. I want the point. What's up? To which he confesses, with his grandmother having passed away, he doesn't feel that being there at the fast food restaurant is the place for him, that he needs a change in his life. He needs to go do something. To which she asks, where will you go? Or what will you do? Something. I can't remember. I wrote the book, but I had a bunch of different ideas in my head at the time. And I've had so many since then, or I've slept since then, whichever the case may be. And to which he replies, anywhere but here. Which, I mean, let's face it, we all have that feeling at some point, right? I can't be wrong. I can't be the only one. You figure you're you're at the place you're working, and it's like kind of like the quicksand speech that Keanu Reeves delivers in The Replacements. You're playing, one thing goes wrong, and another, and another, and another, and the harder you fight back, the worse it gets because you're in over your head like quicksand. That's mostly to the thing. I'm sure there's a clip on YouTube. You could look it up. Quicksand replacements, Keanu Reeves, something. It'll should be in there. But that's kind of how he felt. That it's you feel that's how some people feel. It's like this can't be it because I mean, he's working at a fast food place. There has to be more to life than that. I mean, yeah, it could be worse, it could be better, but I mean, it could definitely be worse. But his grandmother had just passed away, so it's like one of those. I don't feel I'm destined for this. This isn't. I mean, am I destined for anything? It doesn't actually go in that deep to his feelings of dialogue that he has in his head that maybe he'd want to say, but or his feelings. But if you've suffered loss of a close family member, you 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 can empathize with him a little bit. You can kind of like deal with that. You can imagine what he's going through because anywhere but here because it's like he was working there to pretty much kind of make his grandmother happy in knowing that he's doing something to which uh I, I think it was a week before her passing, he confesses to her that on his days off from fast food restaurant, he was working at another place over the weekend, working on things, doing stuff that sort of made him happy or made him feel better. To which she's like, "Oh, I wondered where you went." It may have been the first when the story opens because he's dreaming. She wakes him up, and it's like I don't know if he confesses at that time or shortly after that, or if it was like one of the next mornings. But it picks up the story in Anywhere But Here picks up. Well, it's before her pat. It actually opens up when Duncan is 7 years old, and he's not doing anything. He's just in the back seat drawing in his book. His sister, hey, mother said, "Man, that's it," and tosses his book out the window. And it's like she didn't even look at the drawing. She didn't even ask, "How is it?" That the daughter saw the drawing that he was doing, to know that she would know he's drawing her as a cow, which he wasn't drawing her as a cow. If you look at the book, the back cover, a girl is leading a cow with a rope, just kind of like they're going for a walk kind of thing. And that's kind of what he was drawing, or it was a representation of what he was drawing. You can't really see it on the back of the book because there's all that writing I put on there involving a scene that takes place inside the story, and it might be a different variation of what actually was in the story. But it kind of gives you like a little detail of what's going on in the story. So it's like maybe you'd be interested in uh, in reading it. It was at that point Duncan decided, I'm done with this family, and he runs away. By running away, he threatens to step out of the moving vehicle, and he's over by the passenger side door in the back, and it's like, pull over or I jump. You wouldn't. Try me. The mom pulls over. He gets out. You were a bad person. You are no longer my mother. I am no longer your responsibility. You should seek help. Something. He says something I haven't written down. It's in the book. If you've read it. If you haven't read it, I hope you buy it. He makes sure the road's clear. He crosses the street road. Yeah, I'm not specific as to what it was. It was a 2-lane road. It wasn't like they're both going the same direction, like a highway or anything. It was just one of those 2-lane where one's going this way, one's going that way, and they're not going back and forth like dink, 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 dink. But he makes sure it's clear. He gets to the other side, walks down, finds his book, cleans it off. It was the only drawing he had in the book at the time, so it's like, then he's standing there and he's looking like, do I want to go that way? Do I want to go that way? It's at that time a lady stops her truck. She's hauling an amusement park ride, and she looks over at him and asks, "Are you lost, honey?" Kind of. He tells her kind of what happens at some point somewhere along the way, or I don't know if he says it at that point or whatever. She's like, "Well, you can work for me. You can do this. You can do that." And he's like, "Ugh." Some reason he's tired. I guess it's because he'd been up riding his bicycle in circles and figure eights in the driveway of the house, the on the property, whatever you want to call it. Because he woke up early, went to the living room, saw that it was nice and clean. I'm gonna go outside and ride my bike. So he goes outside, puts his shoes on, gets his bicycle from the shed. Then his mother, because he'd been out there for like 2 hours, just riding around in circles, going or whatever, and his mother yells for him. So he's like, "What's something's the matter? What's up?" So he goes in, and she hits him. What? How many times? What have I told you about playing with your toys in the whatever, one at a time, and put them away when I'm done? And what's this? And he looks, and there's toys all over the place. His sister's at the table coloring in a book, going, because she did it. So he spends like 15 minutes cleaning it all up, putting it back in the thing. And it's like, that wasn't so hard, was it? No, it's so easy. Even the person who made the mess could have done it. So she hits him like 3 times. The fourth time he kind of out of the way, and he's like, to which he ends up saying, "Now I know why. Now I know why my father left. Every time something went wrong, you'd blame him." which kind of made her kind of like in her tracks, like, what the holy? And he goes back outside to ride his bicycle. And which, and he's out there a little longer riding the bike. And then the mom comes out and he's like, oh, we're gonna go to the movies. Put your bike away. Get your book. It's still stinging where she slapped him a couple of times, and it's like something's not right. But hey, we're going to the movies. Okay. Because the mom's acting like, oh, nothing happened. So he puts the bike away. He goes downstairs to get his drawing book and pencils. Something in his mind's like, something's not right. So he collects he gets his book bag, puts that in there, puts whatever money he had hiding, because put that away. Got his toothbrush, toothpaste, whatever. Some clothes, change of clothes he put in his bag. Nothing like this. Nothing like Deadpool. All plain shirts, except where maybe something used to be. Because he had said, yeah, I was maybe 3 when you started getting me into Tweety Bird. He doesn't say Tweety Bird, but he calls it a little yellow bird at some point, because that's his mother's favorite character, and it's like, and while my sister may enjoy it, this is Duncan talking, while his sister may enjoy it, he always liked the alien better, or the cowboy with the, he doesn't actually say any of that, but it's like, or some of that he kind of brings up. But that's Anywhere But Here. That's the beginning, and it's like sets it up to like, you see how bad the mom is, and it's like the sister's a little. They make an appearance in Somewhere to Be, which is the follow-up to Anywhere But Here, which I have yet to type. That's not true. I am typing it up. I have 6, maybe 7 pages left to type, and instead of doing that, I'm doing a little video going darker. Today's birthday, and discussing the book. I figure Anywhere But Here is already in print on Amazon.com. Has been for a year, apparently, or over a year, because I'm still working on Somewhere to Be, which is really fucking. Well, oh crud! I'm over a half hour. I rambled on for a bit. I'm not sorry, but it's like I don't want to keep you this long. You figure you have things to do. Make sure you stay hydrated. I hope you're eating healthy, or getting something to eat. I say eating healthy. I just had 4 slices of pizza for breakfast, washing it down with coffee and water. So, it's like me telling you to eat healthy is like, I don't know, taking premarital advice from somebody who's whatever. I don't know. Couldn't come up with a euphemism or a simile or whatever the fuck. I mean, I hope all is well with you. Please be kind to each other. If your birthday was either January 31st, happy belated birthday. If your birthday is February 1st, happy birthday. Unless, of course, you're watching this at a later time and date, happy belated birthday. I hope all is well. Thank you for watching. Take care.